So, but we should talk about the Coriolis Force,
Yes.
first of all, okay? It's not really a force. In fact, we officially call it a fictitious force. It feels like you're in a force if you're in the middle of experiencing it, but it's not actually a force. Pure and simple. Okay? Okay.
Right.
So, this is what happens if you try to move in a straight line on something that's rotating. Then your path on that rotating object is not a straight line, even though you swear you're moving in a straight line. Okay? So take, for example, a spinning platter. We used to call those record players. Okay?
Oh, nice.
You could, so spin it, put it at 33 and a third RPM, and take the chalk and start at the edge and make a straight line to the spindle. If you do that and then stop the thing and look at what your chalk line did, it will be this curve from the edge of the platter to the center.
Right.
So if you were on that platter, you would say there's some force pushing this chalk in a direction that's to the side. This is how you would interpret what you saw. And so you would invoke, you'd say there must be a force. And in this case, we would call that the Coriolis Force. Meanwhile, there's no such force acting on the surface. So that's what's going on. So this would happen to anybody trying to do a straight line or any kind of path on something that's in motion. If you try to do it on a merry-go-round, okay, you could try to walk in a straight line, but it's not going to work relative to the merry-go-round. So that's all it is.
You'll also look like a drunk person.
Yes.
I've tried it.
You've tried it. Right. But wait, Chuck is stationary. All right. So, perhaps the most common invocation of the Coriolis Force is that which forces winds on Earth to curve into storms. Okay, so there's an air moves, okay, on Earth's surface. But Earth's surface is rotating with the solid Earth. So here I am, and I see a low pressure system, and I'm a nice puffy cloud, okay? And if I see a low pressure system, I'm gonna go towards the low pressure system, because that must mean there's a higher pressure behind me, and I get pushed into the low pressure system, okay? And I'm gonna make a beeline or cloud line. So there I am, but wait, if I'm going north to meet my low pressure system, and I'm a cloud south of it, we're the northern hemisphere now. Wait a minute, as I go north, I find myself overtaking the low pressure system, because my sideways motion is faster where I started from than where the low pressure is. And we've done this before. The equator is moving 1,000 miles an hour sideways. And if you're up at northern Florida or DC or New York, you're moving slower from west to east than the equator is. Yeah, you're all part of the same solid object, but you complete one circle in the same amount of time as folks at the equator do, and they travel a longer distance to do it. So, therefore, you must be traveling more slowly. They must be traveling faster. Here's the point. I'm a cloud Earth near the equator. I'm going sideways 1,000 miles an hour. Now I start marching north. I'm not touching the Earth. I'm floating in the atmosphere. And I see the low pressure system, and I find myself overtaking it. And I end up veering to the right. And by the same token, up a cloud north of that low pressure, it too wants to reach the low pressure, except it's traveling slower than a low pressure system. So it goes south, and it lags behind. So all the air migrating north goes ends up ahead of the storm, and all the high air-going sound ends up behind the storm. When you put all of them together, you get a counterclockwise circulation around the low-pressure system, otherwise known as a storm, because the cloud carries energy, and you're a cloud magnet, all right, and the low-pressure systems are nucleate storms for this reason. There it
So
is.
what speed do I need to do, Neil, to overcome Coriolis Force?
You have to stop.
45 instead of 33 and a third.
Oh, well played. I got you. I got you.
Oh, the 78? You don't want the 78?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, some old farms there on the other side.
Yeah.
So the point is, the storms have so much weather going on because all the weather is trying to get to the low pressure system. And the low pressure system is the center of the storm. That's why there's rain at a hurricane. Okay, oh, and by the way, it's about the eye of the hurricane.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, I'm not going to say something and have you tear me to pieces.
Chuck, that sounds like a no, right? Do you know what's happening? Well, I think I do.
No.
So the eye of the hurricane is completely quiet. No rain, and it's perfectly quiet. Okay? And I saw a movie called Marooned, the 1960s pre-moon landing movie. But we knew we were headed there, so Hollywood started making movies about this. So the astronauts were marooned in space. I don't remember why, and we got to save them. Right? So there's another launch vehicle. But this is Florida. Florida likes hurricanes, don't they? Okay.
Yeah.
So they're ready to launch the rescue vessel. They're running out of oxygen, but they can't launch it because a hurricane is coming. Because then they'll put the other astronauts at risk. So everyone's giving up hope on this rescue mission until someone points out, wait a minute, path of this hurricane goes right over Cape Canaveral. So
How about that?
How about that? So we can launch right over Cape Canaveral when all the weather dies down. So I was like 9 years old or something. I said, that's kind of cool. And so from then on, I was highly intrigued by hurricanes, that this can happen.
Here's the problem. The hurricane would have ripped apart the rocket before it got. You got to get it from the outside of the hurricane to the eye of the hurricane.
Oh, no. So it's the information is attached to the hand in front.
Okay.
It's round, so it's not like a.
So it's not like a
building. Yeah,
it's aerodynamic.
It's fine. Okay. Okay. It's fine.